Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Presents Elements of Horror. My name is Sean.
I am Anthony the Avenger.
I'm John.
I'm Missy.
And I'm Ray.
John, tonight is your pick, my friend.
Yes, it is.
When John picked this movie, he sent me a text that was like, enjoy Carnosaur, bitch. And before I ask you to talk about this movie, I just want to say this movie is synonymous with you in my head because when I first met you, as we've talked about on this show several times, it was after I watched Messiah of Evil. I found your article online, which is a wonderful article. I'll try to remember to put it in the show notes when I post this. And you came on the show and talked to me and Ray about this. And, you know, you're a professor of film. And then I started listening to This Movie Saved My Life, your podcast with Miles Fortune. And like the second episode I listened to, you had your all-nighter. And the first movie you picked was Carnosaur. And I'm like, okay, so he's a professor. And I already knew you were cool, but I'm like, but he's cool. Like, he's not like, hey, we don't speak about, Carnosaur. You were like, dive in, bitch.
No, I remember, and I remember that very first episode that I did with you guys on it, and it's like, and I was dressed nice professorially because I was at another conference. At the, I mean, it was online because it was the first post-COVID
That's right.
conference, and like I actually squeezed in the episode. It was just you and Ray, and it was in between panels, like and.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh, totally. And I did it. And yeah. And then after that, for the next one, I just kind of let my hair down because I just like, I remember our next episode together. I was just like, I texted or maybe not texted because I don't think I had your number, but like, I emailed you and I said, hey, just got out of Lamb.
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to do an episode on this?
And I was so happy. I was so happy that you did that. But okay, so trip down memory lane. John, talk about Carnosaur and what this movie means to you, because it obviously means a lot. It's the second podcast you've dedicated to it.
So really briefly, I mean, people, I think the listeners, if you haven't seen this film, pause this episode, watch it. You can watch it on YouTube in its entirety in HD. It's not bad quality at all. You're going to have a good time. And, before I rewatched it, and I assigned it to all, my thought was, this is a bad movie, but damn, are you guys going to have fun? But when I rewatched it, my thought became, wow, this film is actually really good and has something interesting to say. Just two problems: bad special effects, and with the exception of Diane Ladd, horrible acting. But consider this, and I put this out to you all in text a couple of days ago to like think about how this film is better than Jurassic Park, because this film was released, it limited theatrical run exactly 1 month before Jurassic Park. It had a budget of
Really?
oh yes, yeah, 1 month before Jurassic Park, starring Laura Dern, aka Ellie Sattler's mom, Diane Ladd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so and this is another layer on top of my question. It's like it had a budget of $850,000, which in today's money is about 1.7 million, whereas Jurassic Park had a budget of 63 million. So imagine if Carnosaur had a budget of about 8 million. That's like, it's still a modest budget, but it's much less prohibitive. And just to
Yeah.
put that into context for you all, 8 million was Pulp Fiction's budget, and that film was shot later in the year. So I did not see this film in the theater. It was very limited. I found out about it later in the summer in a Fangoria article, and it was incidentally it was the same issue. It was an issue that was dedicated to Jurassic Park, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to have this big section called Corman's Creatures. And so I found out about this Roger Corman. I went to the library library and read everything I could about, this Roger Corman guy. And as soon as it was available on VHS at my local video store, I rented it and brought it over to, like, group of friends having, sleepover pizza party. We absolutely loved it, and has been in constant rotation for quite a while. Every once in a while, I'll go back and revisit it. Brief summary for the listeners that don't really want to go back and watch this. It's about Diane Ladd plays a mad scientist named Jane Triptree, who clones dinosaurs through genetically altering chickens. And she hates human beings and wants to rid the world of them and let dinosaurs rule the earth once again. This plan intersects with two of our main characters. Doc, who is an alcoholic night watchman on a construction site, played by Raphael Savarge, and Thrush, Jennifer Runyon, who is a hippie chick who she and her group of hippies are trying to thwart the plans of the construction site that Doc works for. That's it in a nutshell. It's very loosely based on a novel, which I've also read.
Really?
Yeah, by
Holy shit.
Harry Adam Knight. It's a British novel. It's set, whereas this is like set in maybe some vague, like, Arizona, Nevada area, American Southwest, Mojave, perhaps. Carnosaur, the novel, is set in Cambridgeshire, England, and it's very British. Um, the character of Jane is in it, but she's different. It's her husband who's the mad scientist. A conservative MP gets killed by a Dilophosaur in this book. It's so nuts, and it was written in 1984. That's about 6 years before Michael Crichton released his novel Jurassic Park. Check that novel out. Absolute blast. So yeah, that's my background with Carnosaur, and maybe just a thought experiment with a budget of 8 million, maybe a different director and another pass at the screenplay, but retaining all the right ingredients and that music score. Keep that music score.
Yeah.
Guys, thoughts?
Anthony,
Hey, how's it going?
I know you love this movie as well. In fact, you watched Carnosaur 1 and 2, did you not?
Yeah, you know what? It was funny too because I was trying to recall the scene that I was looking for during the second one, and it turns out it's in the third movie. So now I have the excuse to go and watch the third film again. Yeah, this is fun stuff. Much like John said, he got introduced to it. I ended up stumbling across this thing on VHS. Same thing at the video store, local video store, and then when the second one came out, obviously I went and grabbed that as well. But it was one of those mainstays at the friends group. So all of us would throw that one on. It was kind of like one of our go-tos. It was just a blast to go ahead and sit down and watch this one again. But in reference to your question, wow. Like I would never want to besmirch the good name of Stan Winston and all the amazing, creature work that he did on Jurassic Park, but this one is kind of near and dear, and there's a reason why. When I was a kid, I got in trouble. I got a really bad report card. Jurassic Park was coming out, and my dad said, "You can't go watch it." So I got barred from Jurassic Park, and I didn't see Jurassic Park for probably 2 years
Holy
until,
shit.
yeah, probably 2 years later. So I saw Carnosaur first. So
Ooh.
so like my viewpoint of it is like is a little different. And don't get me wrong, I love Jurassic Park for everything that it is. I really do wish Carnosaur had a little bit more money. I think that would have been way over the top. I think it would have. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's already become a cult classic, but I think it would have become a lot more widespread. More people would have had access to it, and I think it would have been a successful franchise that maybe not carries on today, but became more of a household name like a Jurassic Park. But yeah, I kind of like Carnosaur a tad more. And that's again purely because I was introduced to Carnosaur before I was introduced to Jurassic Park. So yeah, Carnosaur kind of has that special spot in my heart. I kind of like it better than Jurassic Park. I feel horrible for saying it. Is it a better movie? No, but I had way more fun and excitement with Carnosaur than I ever did with Jurassic Park. Don't get me wrong, JP is like it's a oh, it just has wow factor to it. It's incredible. But this whole, grassroots boots on the ground movement that made this movie, it makes it feel like it has a lot more heart. I've talked about that on the podcast many times. You can have no budget and a whole hell of a lot of heart, and it just means that much more to me, and I appreciate that. Moving on.
Missy.
I was a video store kid, so I saw it. I rented it a long time ago when it came out. 93. I was like 14. And I liked it a lot. I like it even better now. I didn't appreciate camp as much when I was younger, but I mean, some little kids grow up playing with cars and stuff. I had bags of dinosaurs, and it's probably why I grew up to be someone who loves monsters. But this movie was just fun and bloody, and it's the perfect mutant movie. It's exactly the kind of thing I want to see at the last ride with Joe Bob. And I mean, I love Jurassic Park too, but they're totally different moods. Jurassic Park let me feel like I could really see dinosaurs. This is like the perfect drive-in movie, and it was just fun. And I mean, Jurassic Park used practical and CGI effects. This is all practical shit. I mean, it's puppets and animatronics and a guy in a suit. And I love monsters that are a guy in a suit. There's just a certain charm to it you can't duplicate. I mean, one of the other things I really like about it is it goes in a really different direction than Jurassic Park. It's not just a creature feature. It turns into this fucked up body horror movie with
Yeah.
a side of pandemic fear. And it's just bloody and fun. And rest in peace, Roger Corman. I love this shit.
Yeah. Ray?
This was actually my first viewing. I for like when we were going to see things, and um I guess it was just off my radar. But at the time, like when it came out, I think I was like I was 16. I saw Jurassic Park in the theater, and to answer your question, I mean, it's I feel like it gets the benefit of being a shorter film, which is I think a bonus because I not to slam Jurassic Park, but I'm just not that big of a fan of that film. Like I told Sean earlier today in a conversation, like it feels like the whole Jurassic Park thing was about 6 years too late for me. When I was a kid, I was super into dinosaurs and even had like little balsa wood, like skeletons that I put together and everything and pose them on rocks and stuff outside. But by the time Jurassic Park came out, I was kind of like, oh, well, dinosaurs, cool. Like I don't know, it didn't hold with me. Um, but this is fun. It's fun. It's gory, and like the thing that I was surprised by in that second half, like Missy brought up, like the the thing with like it always disturbs me in horror movies when it go or I guess you want to call this sci-fi. I don't know. It kind of defies genre. Um, Whenever women start giving birth to things that aren't human, it's fucked up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so interesting when that happened. Like that happens in this movie, and I was like, that's fucked up. Like it bridges that territory of like when Gina Davis gives birth to the giant maggot in The Fly, and like there's a couple other movies that do that where like women give birth to these things, and you're like, I always feel so terrible for those female characters because it's so much worse than being the male characters. The male characters aren't giving birth to anything; they're just
Mm-hmm.
dying. The female characters are giving birth to fucking dinosaurs. That's ugh, like imagine that coming out of you. Like it's just god damn. Um, it is fun, and for anyone listening out there that is a fan of not just horror but of like cult classic cinema, our two stars of this film, I had to look it up because I was like, wait, these two people seem really familiar to me. Jennifer Runyon is from one of the great comedies of the 80s, Up the Creek. Just a cheesy just a cheesy film, like just guys that are made to go on a river rafting, you know, uh, contest from their college, and it's like a low rent Animal House. And Raphael Sparge, I was sitting there going like, why is this guy so familiar? Why is this guy so familiar to me? He's Sherman from My Science Project, which is I don't know if anyone else on this podcast knows that, but like My Science Project is like a great cult classic sci-fi movie. Like it was another one of those movies that came out like very similar to this. Like it came out about the same time as Back to the Future, and Back to the Future overshadowed it, of course, because it's Back to the Future. But it's still a fun ass movie that I revisit all the time, and this will probably get added to that list of fun movies that I just revisit. Like I honestly probably revisit like Up the Creek and My Science Project, and I'll revisit my Carnosaur than I do like the films that kind of eclipse them and they got forgotten by. Um, but yeah, this is just a good time. It's a fun time. Like, and the score is pretty good, and like
Hmm.
some of the like the scenes that are supposed to be dramatic but are not just end up being like entertaining and funny. Like when that guy's daughter gets killed. I'm sorry, it's fucked up that I'm laughing, but when the guy's daughter gets like basically eaten by a fucking dinosaur, her and her boyfriend, and then he goes and the lady like Diane Ladd's character cons him into getting into the elevator. And I'm even sitting there going, she's gonna kill him. Like, there's no way that daughter's alive. She's gonna kill him. And then and then he goes to the hallway and laser hallway. Oh my god!
Oh, the
Whoever came
laser
up with
hallway is the
that,
best part of the fucking
the
movie.
laser
Yeah,
hallway,
Best
so
part of I
good.
want
it's my
my
favorite
hallway to
scene.
look like that. Like I mean, I'm not even kidding. I want something in my house that looks like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just fun. I think it's a good time. So yeah, thanks, John.
So this is the first time I've seen this, and I enjoyed it. I really like the third act, and I would say so. John Carl Butchler, I don't know how to say his name. We've talked about him on this podcast several times. He directed the Friday the 13th. Missy, which one is it? With the
Uh,
psychic bitch.
7.
There you go.
New Beginning.
No, New Blood.
New Blood.
Yeah.
It's part 7.
Yeah, it's part 7. It's the
It's
one
the
with the
first one
psychic chick.
Kane
It's
Hodder
Carrie
said.
versus Jason, right? So it's the
Right.
one that cut to hell. I don't particularly care for it, but you always point out he talks
It
about
got
how it got
butchered.
cut to hell. Yeah. Um, but the effects are funny for most of the movie. Like when you first see the dinosaur, it's pretty funny. It's pretty charming. But the third act I really liked, and all of the drama shit I hated. I mean, I shouldn't say I hated it, but it tested my patience. And what Missy says when she says like this is the kind of movie for like a mutant movie for Joe Bob. He does a lot of these kind of movies, and usually I'll usually check out when he like Dr. Giggles, or I can't think of another example, but he's done
Dr.
many of them.
Giggles, Sharknado. Like
Well,
I
that's
love that.
unwatchable.
I love that shit, but you usually nope out when they
Yeah,
get
but
super
this is
campy.
Sharknado is, and no offense,
Oh, that's next level. I get it.
Sharknado is fucking garbage. This is not garbage, not at
You
all.
either
Right?
love it or hate it.
Not,
I love it.
but I mean, this is like 9 steps above Sharknado. So, but I really like the third act, and I love the effects in the third act, and I also really liked all the body horror, and it's not just limited to like body because like dude, the scene where he's like going to make eggs and every egg that he cracks comes out. I mean, it's almost vomit inducing. It
Yeah, that
is.
was
Yeah.
It's
making me
so
nauseous.
fucking gross. It's unbelievable. It's so well done, but so much of the interaction between the people is just it just tries my patience. But then, and also I felt like there was a point where I was like, okay, I feel like it's taken a little bit long to get to the fucking Carnosaur, and then it picks up, but it was a little bit of a rocky start. As far as is this a better movie than Jurassic Park? I've never seen Jurassic Park. So I can't answer that. I've never had any interest in Jurassic Park. I did see the third one when it was in theaters because my girlfriend at the time dragged me to it. The only thing I could tell you about it is Newman is in it. I don't remember anything else about it. I just don't care about those movies. I do know I've studied the script for Jurassic Park and it's a very good script. There's some really good writing devices in it, but just never seen it, so I can't comment. But at this point in time, if you were like, if a genie appeared before me right now and was like, "I'll shoot you unless you watch one of these two movies," and obviously I know nothing about genies because this is not how genies operate at all. But let's just say, I would pick Carnosaur. So I don't know what that says. Maybe it's just one of these things where I'm going to dig my heels in for the rest of my life and say, I haven't seen Jurassic Park, so I'm not going to do that now. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed half of this a lot. The other half I didn't hate, but it did test my patience. So
That scene, like you're talking about the dramatic stuff, but that it does have like a murky how should I put it, morality to it, because it does
oh
this thing
yeah,
where it's like, oh, this government testing, and like I love there's a couple of scenes that I love. There's one where like the guy's talking to him and that guy's chowing down on that blueberry pie, and he's like he's like tell him about, isn't it succulent, isn't it delicious,
it can
what if
sit
I
on a
tell you,
shelf for like what was it,
yes,
18 months or whatever.
18 months.
It reminded me
And
of Christmas Vacation where they talk about the lacquer for the food that they,
yes, but then he does that, and then he tells him like, but it's because it's genetically designed, so it with the like, isn't it like the scrotum or something of a goat or something? He
yes,
said,
yes, because then
and
the guy eating it.
the guy's, it's like, yeah, that would kind of be my reaction. So like, it has this thing about genetically modified food, which I was like, okay, I understand that. Who
Talk
knew
about
in
ahead of its fucking time.
I know shit. In 1993, it became a thing, and like now, like in parts of Europe, they don't have genetically modified food, and the U.S. is going, and we're barely catching up to everyone else, going like, should we have this? But there's that, and then the other scene that like I kind of like, wait, this has like a weird murky morality to it, is because it seems to be like about that and about not fucking with the environment.
Yeah.
But it has that scene that is so delightful. I'm sorry. When the hippies are sitting there all chained up to the fucking tractors and he leaves to go to the diner, and then the fucking Carnosaur comes up and the dude goes, "Oh, hey, green brother." Oh, man, that is one of the lines of all time. Hey, green brother. Oh, my God. And then it starts eating them, and then they're just freaking the fuck out. But we're supposed to be delighted in the fact they're getting eaten. So it's like, wait, do I, ooh, am I against the tree huggers or am I with the tree huggers? Very divided on what's supposed to happen in this scene, but it's fun. I mean, that line is amazing.
I love it. I love seeing hippies getting fucking eaten. So yeah, that's a great scene.
Oh man. Hello, Green Brother.
Fuck. John, you have a favorite scene?
Uh, yeah, well, hands down, it's Janice's father getting eaten by the T-Rex in the laser room. But because that's everybody's. Barring that, the one shot, and it's so bad in terms of special effects, but so good at the same time as the Deinonychus like silhouetted against the sunset, right after
Oh
he's
yeah.
killing the teenagers
Oh,
and
that is a good one. That is a good one. Oh
oh,
man.
oh and Clint Howard getting his head pulled off in the chicken coop. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That's pretty sweet, definitely.
It looks like they put caramel on him.
Yeah. Oh my God. Anthony?
It's a toss up between two scenes. One of them is the where the sheriff like goes through the desolate town, and it just reminds me of Alien versus Predator Requiem, where Wolf Predator goes to hunt down the Pred alien, and it's just that last stand, and then he gets impaled by the foot and all that stuff. So that scene was great. I like how they kill each other, and but the other one is probably the live birth. When Tiptree gives birth,
That's
just like
mine.
gently lays her stuff out, and then the thing comes out of her stomach, and then
Yeah.
the camera stays on her face,
And
where
it
she
looks
just kind of
at
goes
it.
back dead. It's hilarious and epic at the same time. Those two scenes are like the ones that really stick out to me. Yeah, it's solid fucking bits there.
Did you have a scene when you first saw this back in the day with your buddies that like made the room like fucking light up or anything like that? Was it one of those scenes or was there anything in particular you remember about that viewing?
It was the hippie scene. Everybody loved it. Everybody went
Mhm.
crazy for the hippie scene. But again, I was drawn to the body horror aspect of it. So that birth scene, that live birth scene, really fucked me up. That was pretty gross looking. Um, I mean, going back and looking at it through, older me's eyes, it looks really corny. But anybody that's like tearing their own stomach open to let whatever in out, I mean, that's pretty fucking creepy to me. It's We'll get to that in a minute because I have some questions about this virus and its transmission, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But let's keep it moving around though.
Uh, Missy, it's your favorite scene, but just real quick, it's funny to see you kind of piggyback on Anthony when he said the birth, because usually the birth scenes are the scenes where you're like, nope.
Yeah, but two things. For one, the birth scenes, they're like birthing eggs and monsters, and I mean, I don't know, I guess it's so absurd. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But the reason I like that scene so much is because when the dinosaur pops out of her stomach, like it's the way the puppet looks and everything, the way it looks at her, and it like we go from this creepy birth scene to this really cool monster scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to see her die a bad death.
Yeah.
Um so I mean I like that one a lot. I thought the little monster looked great too. But I have a question for the group actually,
Okay.
because I've been thinking about, and I have my answer. What like you're planning a double feature? What are you going to show with Carnosaur?
Oh, Tammy the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's mine too.
I would have done it the
Okay.
other night, but I was too tired.
Absolutely.
Red Letter Media already did that, and I actually rewatched that episode of Best of the Worst like 2 nights ago. Uh, it was a triple feature with Theodore Rex with Whoopi Goldberg.
I'll skip that one.
Never watched. I can't do that. Mm-mm.
Baby and the Lost Legend.
Ooh,
I don't
that's
know
a
that
good
one.
one.
I don't know that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, definitely
Wow, what
Baby.
a fucking pull. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah, Baby would be the one
Holy
for me.
shit, Anthony.
Okay.
I'd have to find a VHS to rewatch that shit.
Well,
Wow.
dude, it's on Blu-ray. You can find a Blu-ray of it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, go for it.
Wow. I haven't seen that since literally I was 10 or something. Wow. That's with William from oh
William
good Lord.
Cat.
William Cat and
Oh, and Sean Young.
yes, with a Diplodocus baby, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay, I don't
God.
know that movie. I
I'd
have to
Wow.
never
look it
even
up.
heard of this
Oh,
before.
I've seen it. It's actually based on a real African legend that's kind of more akin to like the Congo's version of the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
Mokele Membe.
Nice. Yeah, but that's the
okay,
one I would pick. Fucking rad movie.
wow.
okay. I was thinking alligator. I
Ooh.
feel like they capture similar moods, you know, or you could be on the nose and watch Raptor because I mean that's also Roger Corman and he reused the dinosaur scenes because he thought the effects were expensive. But then it's directed by Jim Wynorski, so it's cut together with this old stuff from Carnosaur and then new stuff from Jim Wynorski of Chopping Mall fame. And that one's, I mean, it's bad, but it's fun.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because I gotta say, like, and this is nothing against this movie, but like, here's two sides of the drive-in mutant coin. I think Alligator's a much better, and just for me, I don't have any problems with Alligator. Like, it doesn't have the same like dramatic shortcomings that this does. So it's interesting. I never thought of it before, but I don't know. John, double feature. Did you wait?
Mine was alligator, but
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say perhaps a film from the early '80s called Venom with Klaus Kinski.
Oh yes,
Love
that
that
movie's
movie.
fucking nuts. Oh my god,
I've never heard of this.
it's insane.
Yeah,
It's fun.
Kinski's amazing in it.
it's a British horror film that it's a creature feature from the early '80s about a black mamba that gets loose in an apartment complex.
I'm gonna have to check this out. I mean, Klaus Kinski, come on. That guy's a maniac.
When I first got Shudder in 2018, there was like one night where it was like Kirsten and I, we used to have a TV in our bedroom in Redondo Beach, and I just put on Shudder TV and that was on, and we got sucked in. And I mean, because I remember distinctly like when like you start Shudder and it came from Shudder comes up the live TV channel. It was just like Kinski's face. I'm like, well, there's our Saturday night right there. Anthony, you said you have some questions.
I'm not sure how this virus works in the film.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean it's kind of like a red herring early on when you see like one of the security guards coughing and then
Everybody's coughing.
coughs in the guy's face. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, as far as its transmission, I don't know if it's like spread through the eggs that go out into the town. And then the eggs have dinosaurs in them. Well, who buys fertilized eggs? Like it just all these things don't add up, and maybe they're not supposed to ultimately. But like I'm curious what is it that like impregnates women with dinosaur eggs? I just don't get it. Maybe it was explained and I just didn't give a shit, but
I
I'm
thought it was
kind of
just in our food,
yeah, I'm
like they
just
were
kind of
doing
not
shit to
clear
the
on it.
chickens.
Is it the food or is it just contact? Because I feel like it's like COVID where they come in contact with each other and they just spread it.
Yeah, the impression that I got is that it was, it was just sort of like an influenza pandemic
Yeah.
that spreads a virus that uh, alters one's DNA. Very, very kind of Chiptree's working for this. I think they're called Eunice, and that
Yeah.
Yeah.
creates something that alters the DNA in the chickens that produces the Deinonychus in the beginning. And I think the idea is that they're going to spread a virus that'll just sort of over the course of like a few days just sort of alter your DNA and kill men and impregnate you with the changeling.
That actually, I feel like that actually answers almost every question I had about this movie.
Okay.
So thank you, because it
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense now.
I have no idea. I'm just speculating.
No, but that's at least something. Because Anthony, when you asked that, I'm glad you asked it. Because being my first watch, I was like, how is this going to tie in at the beginning when the guy sneezes on the other guy, and then you see the proliferation of people coughing and shit. And by the end, I'm like, huh? How did that? Was that like a red? I don't understand. And now I understand.
I'm pretty sure that's it because there's also the scene where like the sheriff is at home and his wife is like, oh, I forget their son's name, but he's like, she goes, oh yeah, he's got a little bit of a fever, and I'm starting to feel a little hot, but like I don't know, maybe just something around. And I was like, oh, okay, so like more and more people are going to start to have this like this
Yeah, yeah,
flu-like symptom, and which starts to happen, and it just seems to like be like who like maybe the weaker the immune system or something, but there seems to be people who like can like because Doc has the fever. He starts to have the fever when he goes to see her. Like I'm starting. I think he comments like, she says something and he's like, "Well, I have been feeling a little bit warmer lately."
yeah.
Something to that effect.
No, I was wondering if it was like airborne transmission or what, and then with the cure being like incinerated at the end of the film, is it now a widespread like worldwide pandemic, which is it kind of doesn't get explained whether or not it, you know, goes out further than where it is. And it's odd because when you pick up the second movie, that whole idea is gone.
I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
just gonna
really?
say, like, you should be able to answer that because you watch the second movie, but they don't
No, it's
run
they
with that.
completely omit that whole idea. It's gone. So
Oh, really? That's
John said
interesting.
before. John said before in a previous conversation that Carnosaur 2 is basically a shot for shot rip off of Aliens.
It is like
It is.
almost.
Yeah, it pretty much is, even down to like,
Even down to Vasquez and
yes,
Gorman,
I was just gonna
with the
say that.
grenade scene, only it's with like a stick of dynamite.
Exactly. With raptors coming in on both sides of them,
Yeah.
it's hysterical. But I mean, for that alone, it's worth watching. Um, yeah.
But then what's with all the stuff with the chickens in the beginning then?
So they're changing the chickens' DNA to make dinosaurs, and that's such a weird concept that I'm pretty sure they don't actually explain. They just are like, yeah, she's changed because you keep getting that flash at the beginning where it's like,
Target species vulture.
yes, and like
Yeah.
percent, I guess it's just to set that up, but it's like
Okay.
they don't really explain that other than, it's just kind of like you just have to buy in. Like, yeah, they're changing chickens into dinosaurs.
I
Okay.
thought that was a little bit clever, and I'll explain because if you don't know that, like, there's the thought process that lizards and birds have an evolutionary tie to the past, and
Yes,
that
yes.
chickens are evolved from lizards. So the fact that she's like, well, let me work with these chickens, and I will de-evolve basically their offspring into dinosaurs again. I was like, that's pretty clever. I was like, give me that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
pretty clever,
clever.
actually. I'm
I
glad you
mean,
brought that up.
yeah, because that's what I feel like she's doing is she's de-evolving these chickens back to their primordial form. And I mean, I've heard it before that like at one time that there was like these very large like birds that like looked like chickens that were like the size of T-Rexes at one time, and they just evolved out. But I don't know how true that is, but that's one of those things that like one of those science things you hear on like Science Network years ago. I remember hearing something like that. But yeah, apparently that like they have that evolutionary past, and that's why like if you even if you look at your like pet parakeet, it has like these claws, and you're like, that looks kind of reptilian, and it's because apparently they have that tie. So I think that's the answer for the chickens.
And also, I like that how they didn't roar. The T-Rex doesn't roar
Oh,
in
yeah.
this
Oh yeah,
because
don't.
they and there's a video that was put together with interviews with paleontologists. You can find it on YouTube where it's like they actually talk about, they didn't roar because roaring is something associated with modern day mammals, mostly giant cats. And they wouldn't have needed to roar. The sound that they kind of do some research, and the sound they would have actually have made would have been way more unsettling, like more like a sonic boom. But here, the kind of this almost sort of bird squawk sound is just way more creepy and
Yeah.
kind of closer.
That's interesting. I didn't even think of that when I was watching, but yeah, as soon as you say that, oh yeah, this is it's a solid film. I mean, I do, I I have my issues again with some of the dramatic acting, but I will say, like, it was good to see Ned Bellamy. Harrison Page, who plays Sheriff Fowler, was great. Jennifer Runyon, I recognized her, but I didn't see that the movie Ray's talking about. She's the girl from the beginning of Ghostbusters that Venkman is doing the test with, where he's
That's true.
electrocuting the guy.
That's true. I forgot about that.
And then
I was gonna
Diane
say
Ladd.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, Diane Ladd was just in Wild at Heart, like what, 2 years before this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. And she's really like, I mean, I love that grin that Raphael Savage gives, like when he pulls back the body bag, reveals that it's not the dinosaur, and just says surprise.
Yeah.
But Diane Ladd, I think she steals the show in every scene she's in. One of the things why I find this film interesting now is because her character reminds me so much of like contemporary tech lords that feel like with a god complex and feel like they have the right to tinker with certain things, like Elon Musk saying, that empathy is a human flaw in an interview, is, has some creepy echoes, with Tiptree, is talking about mankind is the worst. The earth was not made for man. She was made for the
Right.
dinosaurs.
No, that's an excellent point. Like, I mean, you're right. It does have that thing of it has. I mean, it has that. It has the thing with like genetically modifying foods and for greater lifespan, for greater shelf life, and what can that possibly do to us as a species? And you know, it it does bring up a good point of like, and I think we're heading more and more for that with like we're starting to see movies that are coming out like questioning AI and things like that more. We kind of like sometimes are catching up on like having to create rules for things because we think, well, how can that go wrong? And the answer is like because we have people involved and people can do bad things with anything. So whenever we don't make a rule about something, that's when people step up and go, well, can I do this? And you're like, whoa, no, don't do
We
that.
have to legislate for stupidity.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
I was just thinking of this earlier. I think of this every day. You got to legislate for stupidity. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
uh, you can't make me wear my seatbelt. Okay, okay, we're gonna have to because you're a fucking idiot. So, I don't know, what can I
Yeah.
tell you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have a job where you thankfully the reason I think part of the reason you still have the job you have is because they legislated pretty much worldwide once they started cloning like sheep and animals. All the governments in the world stepped up and said, "Hey, don't start cloning people because it could be
Which
bad.
honestly,
We don't know for
when was
organ
that?
harvesting already." I don't know when
It's a long
whenever
time ago, right?
Dolly, yeah, whenever Dolly was successful, all the governments of the world stepped up and said, "Whoa, no cloning people." And it's held since then, and it's become a
Let's see
thing.
what happens the next time that comes up because it's a different.
Oh, I know.
It's different now. It's different. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is the film does bring up some interesting points
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
important points about GMOs and things like that. That we should like. We're a little late to the game now as a country, but the film was bringing it up back in '93, and like we just weren't listening well enough.
Not enough people went and saw it in the theater, I guess.
Well,
um,
and what Ray was just saying about the genetically modified food and what'll that do to us, I think that's why the ladies were having dinosaurs because they were eating these modified chickens and it was
oh.
changing their DNA and then they're having eggs.
See, that's this movie's strong point is the, like Anthony said, the body horror, because that shit's fucking
Mm-hmm.
revolting. That's just revolting.
It
Well, and
is.
that's
Oh,
what makes it stand out.
yeah.
There's lots of killer, insert animal here, whether it be dinosaur, alligator, shark, whatever, but this takes it in a really different direction and it's cool.
For instance, there's a really cool scene. Well, I don't want to call it cool, but it's kind of grotesque when her assistant is sick and wanting to go home, and Tiptree says, "No, come in here and I'll take care of you." Sets her up to basically give birth, and instead of like other films where you would see, an explosion of blood between the legs, you hear that popping sound, and if you're paying attention, they have her legs, obviously kind of like in stirrups, and when you hear that kind of like pop when it comes out, you see these limbs like bend in these really like obscure angles and stuff, like basically that her hips have broken and the legs pop off into unnatural directions. That kind of body horror stuff is just highly unnerving, and that's just one bit that they used, and again, if you're not paying attention, you don't even see like the leg look like it pops out of its hip
But you
socket or
hear it.
anything, but you hear it, and it's yeah, much like the exploding chickens when they're transporting. It's
Yeah.
just it's funny, you hear that, the sounds and the squawks, and you go back and the chicken is literally exploded, and then there's the egg. um I don't know if dinosaurs immediately attack you upon birth, but that's what these ones did. Thank you guys for explaining the virus thing. It kind of just seems like a three-pronged attack: kill a male species, impregnate the women, impregnate the food, which or make the food be able to impregnate people. It's pretty terrifying when you think about it like that. As far as her will and wanting to exterminate, humankind, it's an awful, horrific way to go. But yeah,
Speaking of exterminate, yeah, can we talk about the exterminators and the ones that'll pop a Polaroid after you're dead and then incinerate you?
yeah,
Uh, I thought that was just a very nice touch, and it's just I love, and I think one of the things that was always so endearing about this film to me from the very beginning is that it it wasn't timid about giving us a dark ending where
yeah.
like they may have scored a victory with the bobcat versus a T-Rex, and then but they don't survive. The good guys definitely don't win in the end.
No, they don't. That ending comes out on fucking nowhere.
Oh yeah, and we get our last image is Howdy Doody burning.
Oh, no, Albert E. Newman from Mad
Yeah,
Magazine.
yeah, Mad
Aldi
Magazine.
That's
Newman,
the dude.
yes.
That blew me away. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I have it in my notes, but my notes aren't with me. Oh my God, I thought that culminating that third act that I liked so much, I thought that was just oh outstanding. So let me ask you guys. So and I just wanted to say this is directed by Adam Simon, who I'm not really familiar with, but he did a movie that's always been on my radar and I don't think I've ever seen, which is Brain Dead from 1990 with Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton. So it's directed by him and then Darren Patrick Maloney, who apparently did additional sequences. I don't know exactly what that means, but
Is that the movie that Doc is watching when we first see him?
Maybe.
Brain Dead? Because I know of it. I still haven't watched it, but he's watching some movie where they're
Oh,
operating on a guy's brain and he's sitting there drinking and he's like, I love this shit.
you might be right actually.
Wow.
Um, but okay, is Carnosaur a creature feature or is it a body horror movie? Because I would actually say
Hybrid.
if oh, it's a hybrid for sure, but
Yes.
I think it's like 55% body horror and like I think the body horror actually is more there's more of it and it's more like important to the script than the actual creep, which sounds insane because it's called Carnosaur, but I don't know. Am I crazy?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
They really play into the body horror big time.
Hmm. And it stands out because it's not what you're expecting to get.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a sci-fi movie too. I mean, because you have the experimentation, the dinosaurs don't just come out of nothingness. They come out of a genetic modification. So like there's a whole sci-fi element to this film too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why this is elements of horror, right? Because technically,
Yeah.
I think it's a sci-fi movie as far as the world is concerned. But
Yeah.
I went into it thinking like, okay, but it's a creature feature. But now I'm like, after seeing it, man, that scene with the omelet. Oh my God,
Yeah,
that is
bleh.
just I. That's not body horror, but it's in the ballpark,
But it's
and
gross.
It's grotesque,
oh
yeah.
my God, it's that image will never leave my mind, which is good, right? Yeah, it's again, I've never seen Jurassic Park, but I would if a genie showed up and put a gun to my head, I'd say I'll watch Carnosaur.
They're both great, but in different ways.
Yeah. Uh, Final thoughts, Anthony.
Mm, just that it's a shame that these aren't like readily available through physical media. I know that Shout Factory, Scream Factory, whatever, they currently hold the rights to these films. So I've heard rumors about a 4K coming out of part two of all films. I really think they should put out a collection. Um, they've never shied away from putting out, like The Fly or the It's Alive collection. They've done that before. I'm really hoping that they crank out a Carnosaur collection. I think that would be fucking awesome. I mean, again, yeah, you can watch this on YouTube, but I think that's the biggest travesty is that we can't own it. That sucks. Um, or rather, you had your chance to own it, and now if you do, it's highly expensive. So,
Is it
um,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
There's a DVD. It's the one that I made Miles watch, but there's another one that's in greater circulation, but it's really bad, and it's a split. It's Carnosaur 1 and 2 on the same disc, and from what I understand, it looks terrible. What you guys saw on YouTube is probably better.
oh yeah, it was HD. Look
I'm
good.
just looking at I just typed in Carnosaur DVD on eBay, and the first thing that comes up is that split. $145 and
Yeah.
92
Wow.
No,
cents.
no, not worth it at
It's
all.
been out of print forever because
And
I've been looking for it forever. It's been out of print forever,
no,
but you
well,
can watch all three are on YouTube in full.
yeah,
Carnosaur 3, 94.99. Oh my God! There's a Carnosaur DVD, not the split, the first movie, $23. That's on there right now. So if anyone wants to jump on that, there's a couple Carnosaur 1. There's a couple reasonably priced for an out of print DVD. I don't know what the picture looks like. I did not happen on the HD. I just typed it in and watched it on the YouTube, and I didn't think the picture was great. Although I had also had a power outage that night, so maybe there was a streaming issue. But yeah, well, go watch them on there. Don't pay $145 for this
no,
book. My
not worth
God,
No,
it at
my
all.
God. Um, Missy, final thoughts?
just I it was fucking delightful to watch it again, and I'm glad that it's at least available on YouTube where you can watch all of them now because I haven't gotten I unfortunately don't have a physical copy, and I haven't been able to find it for years. But they're fun. I mean, for the most part, I think they're a good crowd pleaser. I mean, Peter tried to watch it with me. He made it about halfway through, and now will forever be known as Sacco the T-Rex. But they're a good time.
John, final.
I just loved coming back to this, and there's no experience that will be as good as that initial sleepover pizza party, but damned if this one didn't come close. So thank you very
Nice.
much. It's all because of you.
Ray?
Fun. It's a good time. It's a popcorn movie. You got some friends coming over. You want to throw something on. Maybe you can't think of something. Throw this on. It's on YouTube, and I mean, shit. There's other fun like. It's a good bad movie, and there's some good bad movies on YouTube. Shit, throw this on, and then throw on Voyage of the Rock Aliens, and message me about how much you love that evening. It's gonna be a fucking great time. It's gonna be a great time of bad movies. The first one, sci-fi horror action, that's gonna be great, and then the second one is gonna be bad musical cheesy greatness. So you can't go wrong. It's like it's a fun time. Grab yourself some popcorn, a pizza, whatever. Maybe get past the omelet scene first before you get to the pizza.
Okay,
But
yeah. Don't make eggs.
No eggs.
Wait for the second movie to have the pizza.
Or chicken. Don't bring wings. Nothing, Maybe just get
no
sourdough
eggs. Yeah,
bread.
good
Just
call.
get some sourdough bread and some Jane's Crazy Salt. You're good. That's probably, yeah.
But it's a good time. It's a fun time, and you can't go wrong. So yeah.
I will just say as my final thought in thinking about it, where I just said earlier, like, well, Alligator is also a drive-in mutant movie, but it's better, but also it doesn't have nearly as much to say as this movie, and maybe that trips this movie up a little bit with like having so much to say, because yeah, like Anthony's known this movie for more of his life than he hasn't. He had to ask us, like, right, but this movie has a lot to say, and Alligator really is like. You heard those stories about the little girl that got her alligator flushed down the toilet? It's like, yeah, okay. I love Alligator. Come on.
I
But
do too. Robert Forster, fuck.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But I enjoyed this, and I will go back to it again. And I just wish they could have smoothed some of the character interactions, like especially between Thrush and Doc. There are just some moments where, or like even that initial, like where the guy sneezes on the other guy. I'm like, man, did you shoot a second take? Because I guarantee it would have been better than that one. Like it was just. He's like.
That's my wife. That's my wife. You're talking about orgasmic matter.
Oh man. But anyway, so that's Carnosaur. It's on YouTube. Go fucking watch it. Enjoy it. Let us know what you think about it. And this is the Horror Vision. And I'm Sean.
I am Anthony, the three-pronged attack against humanity.
I'm John.
And Missy.
And I'm Ray.
And we are out of here. Okay, I'm going to get some eggs.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of a collection of desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.